What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of How to Punish. Today we'll be looking at Sub-Zero. It's funny because even though I played Sub-Zero from when the game came out, I didn't actually do a video on how to punish it. I don't know why. Probably because I just assumed because I played it so much people knew, but that's silly. So what we're going to do is standard procedure, look at both the specs, Thin Ice and Dead of Winter. Sub-Zero, I've fought a lot of Sub-Zeros in Combat League. They've done a really good job in this game. They've taken away Ice Clone, but they've done a really good job of making him a strong mix-up character, but he relies a lot on committing to his strings and his special moves. So he might seem unbeatable at first, but when we go through the guide, you'll see that there is a lot of times where you can punish him if you think he's not safe, or well, when he isn't safe, or you know, there's gaps in strings that you previously thought you couldn't get through. So we'll start from the beginning. As always, go through the moves list. Just set this woman to block. Oops. So Sub-Zero's has got a lot of good normals, so we'll go through them all here so you can get a good grasp of how he's going to be poking. So standing 1 is 8 frames, it's plus on block, sorry, 0 on block, and it's a high, so you can duck it. Why did it not? Why aren't the moves coming up? Oh, there you go. Yeah, so standing 1, 0, back 1 is a high, 14 frames minus 2, but you'll find a lot of Sub-Zeros, like with Scorpion's back 1 with the sword slice, you'll find a lot of Sub-Zeros like to go backwards and forwards, and then when you whip a button, because this confirms into a combo, they like to hit you and then go into the combo. So be very careful. It's got quite a long range for a back 1, as you can see. I mean, the range is ridiculous actually if you look at it. Jeez Louise, the range is really good. So be very careful. You can duck it, but just be very careful in neutral if you see him walking backwards and forwards, because he's going to be wanting you to whiff a button, so he can punish with that. Down 1 is 6 frames, that's very good, like Garrus. Minus 6 on block, but be careful because he's going to use that to poke you out. Standing 2 is a high, plus 1 on block. Back 2, you see a lot of Sub-Zeros try and use this as the upward hitbox is massive. It's not so great in grounded neutral, but if they think they're going to read a jump, then they'll get you with that back 2. It's minus 2 on block. Is it a high? No, it's a mid. So be careful with this one, because the range on it is deceptive. Forward 2. Now this is the bane. A lot of people, I mean, especially, I'll go over the specs, the variations rather later on. sorry, Sean Tier. Yes, Soul Cube, it's true with the cross-up jump, but I'll talk about that when I get to special moves and stuff. Everybody needs to know. This is how people learn, is by watching these videos or by playing through it, and so they learn the fear. So this forward 2, somebody in my chat just said, "Stop right now, my main is ruined." Sorry, dude. Forward 2 is one of Sub-Zero's best normal buttons, basically. So it is super useful in both Thin Ice and Dead of Winter spec, because it's part of his mix-up game, which I'll go through when I get to Shin Shatter, which is back 3. So it's actually an overhead, so you have to block this high, and it's minus 6 on block, so that's safe really, unless you've got a 6 frame jab and you don't think they're gonna press a button afterwards and you react like super fast, then that's punishable. But for all intents and purposes it's safe, and it's special cancelable, and it's an overhead, so you have to block high. So be very careful of Sub-Zero's forward 2. Then you've got down 2, which is uppercut, and then 3 Lin Kuei kick, which is plus 2. I didn't actually know that. That's good. A little frame trap here with 3-3. I'll talk about that in a sec. Then you've got back 3. So this is where Sub-Zero starts to get scary. So this is an overhead, this is a low. You have to guess. And that's it. That's why Sub-Zeros are so terrifying. This is minus 4, so that's safe. This is minus 6, excuse me, so that's safe. It's a 13 frame punish as well, so And the range on this is pretty deceptive as well, because you think you're about here, Oh, that's see, he takes a little step forward when he does it. So even though you think he's out of range, he's actually closer than he appears to be. So yeah, and this is one of Sub-Zero's, I would say, back 1, 3 best normals. Back 1, forward 2, and back 3. So back 1 is used for poking from long range. Forward 2 is the overhead, and back 3 is the low. So this is why Sub-Zero is scary, because you just have to guess in neutral. You know, see him moving backwards and forwards. You think you're going to get load, overhead. Or, you know, you've been overheaded 6 times in a row. You think, right, I'm not going to get overheaded anymore. He back 3-2s you. So they're both safe as well. So be very careful when he's doing, if you do block these moves, be careful about pressing a button afterwards, because he can just block and he'll be safe. So be very careful. Then down 3 is a 9-frame start up. You'll see lots of Sub-Zeros try and poke with this after you block their back 3-2, because it pushes you, just, you see, it pushes you, back 3-2 pushes you back a little bit, and it puts you almost in the range for down 3. So if you try and advance, that's how they check you. So be careful with that, and that's -5 as well, so that's safe. And then you have, I don't know if you're getting old. I think Sub-Zero's is much easier to confirm than Scorpion's is, because it hits from further away. So you can just keep putting it out. Because it's safe, there's no risk to it. So, you know, you can just keep putting it out. Then fish, that's safe as well. So yeah, I think with Sub-Zero it's more of a reactive confirm, getting them to whiff but that's how I find it anyway. Somebody in my chat just said confirming with Sub is hard for me online because it's like Scorpion's back 1-4, which is what I said before. Back 1-4, it's exactly the same, but I think Sub-Zero's is actually an easier confirm, because if you get back 1'd, it's a high, not a mid, but it's got much longer range. So, you know, you can just literally, as soon as you see them whiff it, especially if it's a long range button, boom, full combo, and the mix up starts. So yeah, no, I'm with you. Oh yeah, that's tough. So the jump kick 3. I was practicing that before the stream and I hit it like twice. Standing 4 is a roundhouse, +2, 19 frames. That is a high. You can duck it. I mean, you rarely see Sub-Zeros just throw that out. But yeah, that's a high. If you see that coming, it's quite slow as well. Back 4 is a sweep, -4. Forward 4. So this is another scary Sub-Zero button. So Sub-Zeros like to use forward 4. So they'll be doing it around here. It's a big kick, like Shang Tsung's, like Shao Kahn's. You see them around here, and then they'll run in, and it's a mid as well. So you can't duck it, and then it puts them at +4. So you have to respect it, basically. You can't press buttons. The only time you can press a button afterwards is if you think they're going to go for a grab, and it checks the grab. But you have to be very careful, because if you go for a big button, especially afterwards, he can just straight up open you up into a full combo, at the very least he'll get a check, and down 1 you may be into a throw. So this is +4, but the beautiful thing about, I say the beautiful thing about it, I haven't been able to do it online once because it's 180 ping, but the good thing about it is that see, it's flawless blockable. It's a bit tricky actually. I feel like it comes out later than it should. So you can flawless block it, trust me. I promise you can. There you go. So yeah. There you go. Yeah, so you can flawless block it. So if you think a Sub-Zero's gonna, or you can even check it, it's not invulnerable. So if you see them running in, you know, just poke them out. It's definitely reactable to, because runs aren't in this game anymore, so he's not doing a mix-up run or anything. If you see him running at you, it's because he's done forward 4, so you can check it before he hits you, or you can flawless block it into a full combo. So, but if he does hit you with it, it's +4, so be very careful what you do afterwards. I usually like to see what they do after the first one, just to see, oh, are they going to press a button or if they're going to throw me. Maybe just duck, because at the very least, if you duck, they down one you. That's not a lot of damage. If they go for the throw, then you've ducked the throw, and if they go for a 1-2, you've ducked that because they're both high as well. So maybe just duck if you've been hit by it. I mean, again, it's easier said than done, but be very careful if you get hit by that. Okay. And then lastly, he's got down 4, which is another good mid-range poke. -9 is unsafe, but you're not punishing that. So he'll just try and poke you out, keep you spaced with back 1 and down 4s. Frustrate you into making a mistake, then back 3-2 you, or back 1-4 you. So yeah, very good long range down 4 there. I mean, you can see I'm this far away, and it's hitting. So sort of like Aaron Black's one. Just be careful about your spacing. So yeah, that's all his normal moves. Then you've got his combo attacks. He doesn't have many combo attacks, but the ones that he does have are pretty much vital to his game plan. So he's got 1-2, like I said, high mid. So this is his main, well, this will be his 8-frame combo starter. So if he's going to do an 8-frame punish on you, he'll do that and then confirm into Ice Ball. Then you got 1-2-4, which is usually used in the corner to finish off the crushing blow combo, because this does actually have a crushing blow attached to it. Yeah, so if he triggers it in a combo of 8 or more, so usually Sub-Zeros will only use this combo to do as a combo ender in the corner, or sometimes there's a few mid-screen variations where you'll see a Sub-Zero cross you up with the jumping 3 and then do it. But that's quite rare to do online because it's quite a tricky link. But yeah, usually you'll only see 1-2-4 used at the end of a combo to in the corner to get the crushing blow requirement met. Then you got back 1-4. This is what I was telling you about before. The walking backwards and forwards. Back 1-4. Confirm it into the Ice Ball. You got back 1-4-3. This is his mid-screen combo ender. So that's actually -7. So that's safe as well. But he can actually special cancel that too. So yeah, be careful. Even if you think he's not going to do anything here, usually again Sub-Zeros will do the string and then cancel it into a special move, and then you've been hit. So usually you'll only see that as a combo ender, but sometimes they'll try and poke you out, much like Scorpion's. Well, Scorpion's exact same string, back 1-4-3. I think it's got the same hit. No, it's got -7. Scorpions is -5. But it's used for the same thing basically. They'll fish with this. If they don't confirm with the back 1, they'll finish off the combo. And if they don't finish off the they can finish off the combo and then special cancel it. So be careful. 2-1. That's just another 8-frame startup. But this is the range of his 2 is much less than the range of his 1. So even though 2-1 does more damage, again, you'll rarely see Sub-Zeros do that in neutral because usually it's just used as a punish. 2-1-2. Yeah, it's very, very rare you see that string, but it's -4, so it's safe. And 2-1 is -8, so that's unsafe. But as you see, it pushes you away, so you probably won't be able to punish that with a standing button. Back 2-1. This is mostly used as an anti-air, as I said, back 2-1. So they'll do a crushing blow combo and then do back 2-1 into Ice Ball to get the mid-air juggle, and then finish off the combo as... Oh, you can't special cancel that and block. That's interesting. So you can special cancel back 2-1 on hit, but you can't on block. Okay, I didn't know that. That's good to know. So this is the Sub-Zero. This is the Bane. So you've got forward 2, which is -6. But the continuation of forward 2, if you block it and then you go to duck again, the second part is mid-mid. So if you go to duck low, you try and press a button afterwards, you're going to get hit. So, and the reason why Sub-Zeros do this is because this has a crushing blow too. So if he catches you out with this on a counter hit, it doesn't give you a launch or a juggle or anything, but it does a lot of damage. So they'll try and use that as a punish, maybe if you whiff a throw, or if you, I used to use it a lot for catching people's. Alright, catch you later, all for fans. Have a wicked day, man. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, so I used to do it to punish people's if somebody did an invincible wake up and I was standing about here, I'd punish it with that and get a crushing blow. But if they do it to you, it's super. If they commit to that, minus 19. Never let a Sub-Zero get away with that. It's not like this, which is minus 6. Minus 19, super, super, super unsafe. So make sure you punish that every single time. 3 is this little gap combo here. So this is a built-in frame trap basically. So that puts you +2. So if you try and press a button afterwards, you don't respect it and you don't think he's going to press it again, they get caught out by the second 3. I wonder if that must be flawless blockable. Let's see. You can only do it. Oh, did it not come out? That was weird. Okay. I mean, you can flawless block it, but he pushes you quite far away. So maybe if you've got a longer range. I mean, you can flawless block the first hit. But if you flawless block the second hit, you might be too far away to punish. But you can flawless block it. Can you interrupt it? No, you can't interrupt it because it's +2. So yeah, so be careful of that. It's just a little frame trap there that they might throw out occasionally just to catch you sleeping if you try and press a button in between the 3 and the 3. And I've got a question in chat. When you do back 3-2, it's blocked. So when 2 hits, it's too late to confirm it's ice ball. I think a lot of Sub-Zeros like to do back 3-2 because I was just going to get to that now. So back 3-2. So this is like this. This is the Sub-Zero scary bit in Dead of Winter. But then you've also got back 3-2, which is a low, and it's -6. So you'll find a lot of Sub-Zeros like to do back 3-2 and then down poke with down 3 because it puts you out of your range. So let's have a look and see how late it is to confirm. I mean, no. I mean, if you see the 2 hit, that's too late. But they can. You can I don't know actually. Maybe it is a bit late to confirm. Yeah, you can confirm from back 3, and you can confirm from back 3-2. Any options? Yeah, so and then back 3-2-1 finishes off the string. It's -5. So be careful when Sub-Zeros are doing this because what they'll like to do is finish off the string and then down 1 you because it's a 6 frame poke. So if they think you're going to press a button afterwards, if you don't have a fast down poke, then be careful because they'll try and check you with down 1 into, you know, and if they hit you, then they get hit advantage into a full combo, or they might do back 3-2 and then grab you. So yeah, that's when Sub-Zero starts becoming scary. Yeah, I guess they're trying to make you commit. That's just Mortal Kombat, I guess. They're just trying to make you commit to the strings, commit to the buttons. So it's like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to fish. Oh, did it hit? I'll quickly confirm. You have to properly get the read, basically. Can you imagine if you could confirm with that, if they didn't do it like that, how Sonya Blades would be unstoppable, man. They just do back 1-2 the whole day, and then eventually they'll hit you overhead and crush you. But yeah, those are Sub-Zero strings, so be careful. These are the 2 scariest ones. If you're blocking high to get the overhead, you get back 3-2'd, and if you think you're going to get back 3-2'd, you get overhead. Supposedly, the overhead, a lot of people have been telling me the overhead is reactable too. I mean, it is 19 frames. It's a bit tight for my liking, but I wouldn't try and recommend reacting to it online because if you've got 180 ping, there's no way you're going to react to that. But yeah, my advice would be just to block low and then try and read when he's going to overhead, because back 3-2 is much faster, so you have much more to worry about getting hit with back 3-2 than back forward 2-4. Yeah, then his special moves. So we'll start off with Dead of Winter variation. As you can see, when I go to it, he doesn't have many special moves, but that's not what makes him scary, as we've seen from his specials, from his strings rather. So you might think, well, Dead of Winter, he's only got 2 special moves. He's like Guile, he's not that scary. But the scary part is, especially in Dead of Winter spec, is the 2 special moves he has are very practical. So you've got the standard Ice Ball. So let me take her off block. Oh. So you've got forward 2, as I said, and back 3-2, forward 2-4, back 3-2. So you can confirm off any of these strings into Ice Ball. So if he whiff punishes you, oh sorry, not that one, we'll get to that in a sec. So back 3-2, he can confirm Ice Ball, 1-2 Ice Ball, 2-1 Ice Ball, back 1-4 Ice Ball. I mean, you get the picture, right? All of these are hit confirmable. So, but the scary thing about Dead of Winter spec, which is only for this variation, is he can amplify his Ice Ball. Now, that gives it extra properties, and the 2 main ones that it gives it are that it can crush projectiles. So if we record Devora doing a projectile, what am I doing? I never remember her projectile. So if we record, so that's the normal Ice Ball, right? It doesn't crush it. The EX Ice Ball, you see, it completely destroys it, which is very unique when it comes to Mortal Kombat, because usually projectiles don't interact, they just go straight past each other. But like this, and as far as I'm aware, this and Cetrion's up rocks are the only 2 that actually crush projectiles. So be careful if you're throwing. I used to use it against Scarlets or against Jades. If they're trying to throw projectiles at me from full screen, you be very careful, because if you're up against a Sub-Zero, if you're a Jade or a Katana or somebody who likes to stand full screen and throw projectiles, be very careful, because EX Ice Ball can crush it 100% of the time. It may be from a bit further away. See, that wasn't a punish because it was so far away that by the time the ball was crushed, if the computer was a person, it could have blocked it. But from about this range, hold on. From about this range, it's going to crush it every time. So just be very, very careful. So that's the first property that EX Ice Ball has. The second property EX Ice Ball has, which makes it terrifying, is that in this variation, you can actually combo into the overhead with EX Ice Ball. So normally, as I was saying before, all of these strings combo into normal Ice Ball. Normally, forward 2 does not combo into Ice Ball. So if you see here, there's no combo. So if somebody's doing this to you and they confirm the overhead, and then they don't confirm the overhead, and then they throw the Ice Ball, it's not going to combo you. If you're blocking, you will block it and you can get a full punish. But the scary part is you can amplify it. There, you see, it is a combo. So that's what makes Dead of Winter spec scary, because you'll see them walking backwards and forwards, blah blah blah. They'll get a punish if you do an unsafe special move, full combo, and then they'll do jumping 2 into back 1-4 or into something, and then the mix starts again. So you're at this range again. So then it's just a guess. You think, all right, sugar, I'm gonna block low. You get put in the blender again. It is a combo, and then you're in the corner, and then hide. You only need to mix them twice to get them into the corner. So that's why this spec is very scary, even though it's only got 2 special moves, because EX Ice Ball is comboable off the overhead, because it's faster than a normal Ice Ball. So those are the 2 properties in Dead of Winter that make Dead of Winter scary about the EX Ice Ball. But if you see, both, and this happens a lot of the times when I fight Sub-Zeros online, normal ice ball, -15 on block, super punishable. EX ice ball, -15 on block, super punishable. So they won't hit confirm the axe, they'll just assume that it's going to hit, because you have to commit to the overhead. If you think the overhead's going to hit, you can't confirm. As Soulcube and I have been so I've already done it, Soulcube. On my YouTube I've got a Cabal, how to punish Cabal. So I did it a few weeks ago. Not that it helps me not get zipped by Cabal. So yeah, be very careful with forward 2s, but again, if they don't confirm it because they think it's going to hit, they've just committed fully to it, both are super punishable. So if they do that from either of these, if they do back 3-2 and you block it and they commit to the ice ball, or forward 2 and they commit to the ice ball, -16, both of them -16, make sure you punish it, don't let them get away with it. And then there's other special move which replace it in Dead of Winter, which replaces the slide, is back forward 3. So this is just used as a combo ender mostly. I mean, occasionally you'll see Sub-Zeros do it in neutral, but the only time people really do it in neutral is one property. It's similar in the sense to Scorpion's teleport, in that you can amplify it quite late on block. So say they're walking backwards and forwards and they try and catch you out with a slide, with a cold shoulder, they can delay the amplification of it even on block. So you think, oh, I'm going to punish it, it's -20, and then they do a late cancel and they catch you out and they hit you. So just be wary of Sub-Zeros walking backwards and forwards doing cold shoulders. But they are both super punishable. So if you get the read either way, the normal one is -20 and the EX one is -22. So like with the frost balls, the ice ball, if they hit you, if they go for it, then make sure you punish the heck out of them. But yeah, like I said, be careful, because they can amplify that a bit late and catch you out pressing buttons if you try and punish. I mean, that is really delayed on amplification. Do you see how long it took? So yeah, just be very careful. But yeah, that's the whole point of Dead of Winter spec, is just to mix you up into the EX ice ball. So he doesn't have any of his other long range projectiles or anything, but he's just going to try and mix you. So be careful with that. And then the second variation, which I'm seeing a lot more of these days, is Thin Ice. Oh yeah, that's another thing as well. Thank you for reminding me, Soulcube. So yeah, on the cold shoulder as well, if it hits you on a counter hit, you get a crushing blow. So that's why Sub-Zeros will be moving. Thank you, Soulcube, I forgot about that. So Sub-Zeros will be, if that's how they'll fish for it basically, is they'll go for the cold shoulder, you'll try and punish it with like a standing 1 or whatever, and then they'll amplify it, and then they get a crushing blow attached to it. So yeah, thank you, Soulcube, I completely forgot about that. So be careful with that too, because they can get a crushing blow off it for big damage if the amplify catches you in a counter hit. So yeah, Thin Ice, as you can see, a few more special moves. So you've got your normal ice ball. You can't EX this one. Sorry, you can't amplify this one, so you don't have to worry about like having your projectiles crushed or you can't combo it off the overhead, but it's just a standard ice ball. Then you've got Polar Axe. So you'll see this is what Sub-Zeros in this spec like to do. Very similar to Jade and Cabal. They like to control that sort of downwards horizontal space, downwards vertical space, sorry. So I mean, you can do it really low off the ground, but yeah, so they don't have this spec in obviously Sub-Zero doesn't have this move in Dead of Winter, but I believe that you can actually combo into slide if they catch you with it low enough to the ground. Let's see. Don't want to misfeed you information. Maybe they can't. I swear I've been coming into this before. Maybe it's just a mix-up. Okay, so they can't combo into it. I'm sure I have been comboed into it, but just be careful if they can. So yeah, Polar Axe, downward fireball move that he doesn't have in the other spec. But yeah, just for Thin Ice spec. Then you got Frigid Storm. I mean, I'm not sure why you would do that. It is a mid, so it's not like a high. So you can actually duck Ice Ball because it's a high. So you can't duck this, so it does go full screen. And it starts off high and then goes into a normal ball. Desticle Barrage. This is a really, really good move of Sub-Zero, where they will try and chip you out. So, oh yeah, thank you, Nick. Yeah, if there's any previous, if anybody misses, oh thanks, man. I appreciate that you like the breakdowns. Yeah, I've got a bunch of different I'm slowly going through the whole cast, so yeah. So as you can see, the range on it's not massive, but they'll probably try and do it after back 3-4 if you block it, and you see it puts in perfect range because he actually steps back. I didn't realise it does dot damage as well. I know it doesn't. Oh, it does. Oh, that's interesting. So if it hits you, when the icicles start breaking, as you can see, they do 4 damage a tick. Wow, I didn't know that. So be careful of that too. Dang, that's really good. But yeah, usually they'll use it on you to try and make a string, try and keep you out with a string, or they'll try if you've got last breath and they hit you with that, you're dead. So be very, very careful. If you're a Garrus main like myself, you can punish that every single time with Sand Trap though. So if you block that, you can reverse or punish it with Sand Trap. So just be wary of that. And then lastly, the move that makes this spec a pain in the ass is the slide. So it's 11 frames startup, so it's unreactable too. Basically, you have to read it. And as I was saying to you before, even though you can block, you can't combo the Ice Ball from the overhead. You can combo the slide. So this is where this starts getting scary, because in the other spec, you can hit confirm this into forward 2-4 or forward 2. Sorry. Or forward 2 into Ice Ball, but this spec's even scarier because you have to block the overhead and then block low straight away. So it has to be a read. So you have to be careful, because yeah, if you think they're going to commit, or you go to press a button afterwards to try and punish the forward 3-4, they can combo it straight into the slide. So be very, very careful when you're fighting a Thin Ice Sub-Zero, and the range is really far because you'll just see them walking back. It's like it's like any long range special move, super fast special move, like a shadow kick or something. Essentially, you can just see if you see somebody walking back and forwards and they whiff something, like with the. So as I said, I'm a Garrus player. If I go for a Sand Trap and it gets blocked, you can punish it with Thin Ice and with slide, and you can amplify the slide. And if you get hit with 3 amplified slides, the third one, I think it's because I've got easy crushing blows on, is a crushing blow. So you see 319 damage, and that wasn't even in a combo. So if they were just to do something like this. So, you know, that's a super basic combo. But yeah, be very, very careful. But thankfully, if you do get a read on it, even though I do struggle with this, especially online, it is super unsafe, -20. So you can't amplify and block either. You can only, it's not like Scorpion's teleport. If you read the slide, make sure that you punish the heck out of it, because that is super duper unsafe. Oh, and he's got a crushing blow off his throw as well, which I've got to mention. So if they throw you and you don't tech the right way, and then they go to back throw you, the back throw does 250 damage. Well, 310 damage actually, yeah, I forgot about that little kick. So if you don't tech the first way properly, be careful, because the back throw will do a lot of damage if they hit you with it. So yeah, that's Sub-Zero. I think I've covered everything. Like I said, the main parts of Dead of Winter spec are comboing the axe, the overhead forward 2 into the EX ball, and that's the mix-up. Or in Thin Ice spec, it's the slide and the polar axe. So yeah, I mean, Sub-Zero is a tricky customer. Basically, you just have to be wary of. I mean, it is just a guess. You just have to be. If you see them favoring one thing or another, usually you'll see Sub-Zeros go from one, go for back 3 more than, or they'll go for forward 2 more. A lot of Sub-Zeros that I fight like to do jumping forward 2 because you're already blocking low, and then try and hit you with the overhead. So yeah, just be, or you're, if you're blocking high to stop the jump kick, then they'll back 3-2 or they'll throw you. So fighting against Sub-Zero is just a guessing game. So the main thing you have to do is if you see him not hit confirm into these moves. I mean, oh yeah, this is super punishable as well. Oh, it's not actually, -8. Wow, that's much less punishable than I thought. Maybe because it's got such a fast start. Oh, actually no, there is one more thing I can teach you, which I forgot about, which one of my friends in chat was telling me the other day, just briefly. I know I've not tried it myself, so this might not work, but you can interrupt the ice ball. So if you see a Sub-Zero and they're gonna go, you think they're gonna ice ball, you can actually interrupt it. So you don't have to, I mean, you have to make sure you time it right, because otherwise you'll get counter hit. But yeah, if you're quick enough, I mean, Devora's jab is 7, I think it's 7 frames. Yeah, 7 frames. So if you've got a 7 frame interrupt, you just saw I just went underneath it. So yeah, you don't have to respect that. If you've got the read on it, you can interrupt it and get a full combo. So yeah, that's just one last thing that I thought I would mention. What is the benefit of that over just blocking the fireball? It's just interrupting it. So you can just, maybe just a mind break, or if you're close enough and you just want to get a full combo, maybe you don't want to take the chip, but yeah, you can always, if they cancel into the fireball, with the ice ball rather, you can interrupt it. So I don't know what the benefit. I mean, you could just, you're right, you could just block it and get a full punish that way, but maybe you don't want to take the chip. Maybe you think they're going to combo it in something else. I don't know, but that is an option if you're quick enough. I don't know Devora combos. See, so maybe that's one thing. If you can't punish it with standing 1, so if your normal's a bit stubby, so you can punish it there. I mean, you can punish it with 15. If it's -16, you can punish it with loads. So, you can't punish it with that. Jeez Louise. Okay, so see, if you've got, yeah, there you go. If you've not got good normals from range, like Devora doesn't seem to, it's better to interrupt it in the middle of it, because that way you can guarantee a punish. Because you see, I wasn't able to punish with any of that. I'm sure she has. I don't play Devora, so I'm not sure what your best punish would be after that. But yeah, if you don't think you're going to reach with a punish and you want to interrupt it otherwise, you can interrupt it. But yeah, that about covers it. Thank you very much for watching. This was recorded on my stream at Sodium Gym on Twitch, so if you are wondering why I keep looking to the right and talking to people, it's because I'm talking to my chat. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment if there's anything you think I can do differently. Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Sodium Gym. Come to my Twitch, Sodium Gym. Everything's Sodium Gym. But yeah, I'll be working through, as I said, I'll be working through the rest of the characters. I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned something. And if there's any other character you want me to do as well, please leave a comment as well if there's one that I've missed out, and I'll be happy to do that. And on that note, thank you very much everybody, and don't forget to stay salty. Take care.